running the show or am I running the show? No problem.
Hello PFL, I'm David Hernandez, and this week I'm here at St. Mary's Park where the Buccaneers had a big win, and right now the Buns are playing the Panthers, and today I'm interviewing David Patterson, former commissioner and is the owner of the PFL, our great league. So, Mr. Patterson.
Yes, sir.
This league is a very young league, only been around for 4 to 5 years. Why was the main reason you wanted to start this league? There's other leagues out there like Big Apple and Emerson.
Well, I didn't really want to start a league. The funny thing is, we just saw a need, and with the need was for a more dynamic experience for the kids that were playing football in New York City. So what I did notice was that a lot of the leagues out there not doing updated websites, a lot of issues that they were having in terms of roster integrity and things like that, a lot of the teams were having issues with. And in owning football teams, it was just a pretty easy transition.
So, Mr. Patterson, my next question is, you are also a former commissioner of the league. What was your job as a commissioner, and how hard was it trying to correct this league and make it as good as it is today?
Well, as owner of the league, the enforcement under the job of commissioner was one of my top priorities. And for the first couple of years, it was absolutely necessary for me to be more hands-on. And as you see, even today, I'm more hands-off. I have people that I trust, especially after this is our 4th year of doing this thing. So we've gone through a couple people, tried and tested a few people out to see if they were capable of maintaining the high standards that the PFL has set in place. So most of the stuff that I'm doing now is more of the public relations, media-driven, and things like that, and setting up young people for success like yourself in your PFL weekly spot, which is getting so many views.
First off, thank you for letting me get this opportunity. Second of all, my next question is, now, you look at this league now, it's such a great league. New teams coming in like the Bears and the Vikings, but then also teams who've been around for a long time, like the Buccaneers and Steelers. What do you expect the league to be like in the next 5 years?
Oh, great question. The benefit to the Pioneer Football League is that it's a place where brand new teams can grow and mature. So we've had teams that do what we call developmental teams. So they may not compete in our regular division, but the Steelers were actually once a developmental team 4 years ago, and now they're one of our shining programs that, in fact, a lot of teams are calling them up trying to see if they would jump ship and play with them and offer them all types of things like free league fee and stuff like that. So what I take pride in is that programs like the Buccaneers, programs like the Steelers and the Colts especially, where historically they may have been one of those programs that don't get top billing because the ownership of the league wasn't with their particular program, that we can not only just promote the best football players that we have, but also the teams that are developing and just starting out. And that was part of the deal with doing the uniforms, is that in other leagues you have teams that have $80 uniforms and playing against teams with $10 uniforms. So there can't be there's competition within the product. So what the ultimate goal 5 years from now is to make sure that every single team has a uniform that's comparable, which obviously we took care of. And the next thing is through USA Football and the Heads Up program, the coaching is standard across the board, and that's literally just, I don't want to play for this particular team, I just want to play for the team that's in my area.
Okay, so my final question to you, Mr. Patterson, is you set up a lot of activities for the kids, going to the Jets mini camp, being able to go to games and stuff like that. How does it make you feel seeing the joy of these kids loving this game to play and loving everything you do in this league?
Well, the priority number one for us is making sure kids play football. So if you look at it's a double-edged sword for us because we're so transparent that even our issues and challenges are like front and center. So when we have, ultimately, I know it's kind of confusing that a game will be played, you'll see a score, and then on our official standings, you'll see the score 2-0. And it's because if there's a rules violation, we take the rules very, very seriously. We take our bylaws very, very seriously. And ultimately, the teams are learning how to operate without me having to micromanage or really be so hands-on. So if it takes, pulling a victory out of, or pulling a loss out of the hands of victory, for some teams to learn that they have to abide by our bylaws to the word, and that's ultimately what we have to do. So that's the ultimate challenge in this thing. And while we're doing that, having the kids just have the absolute time of their life, a lot of fun. Some of the greatest times, like the pictures that sometimes I come across in the folders of my computer, where father and son are sitting there and both of them have a big smile on their face, or the young man for the Buccaneers that did the whip in the end zone when he scored the touchdown in front of 60,000 people definitely is rewarding. And seeing again kids like you that whenever I go to business meetings, the first thing I put up is PFL Weekly starring David Hernandez, and the first thing that this is how articulate, this is amazing, and that opens up so many doors for the kids in the next wave. Just a few years ago, like short years ago, the people that were on this side of the camera are now moving on and doing a lot of other great things. We have coaches, Shamel Jackson, who's a coach, Matthew Otero, who's now a coach and part owner of the team, Jay Carter, who is a high school coach, and Bryson King. Those are the three cornerstones of this thing that will in your position. So in a few years, I definitely look forward to seeing the next generation of what they're going to do and how they're going to make their mark on the football field.
So thank you, PFL. I'm David Hernandez, and I'll see you guys next time.
Thank you, sir. Well done.